welcome to Cotton and Fluff. My name's Jo and welcome to my channel. So lovely of you to be back again, and thank you so much to everybody who and the new subscribers. Thank you so much, it really does mean a lot. On my lap today I've got Winnie, and she's our little housemate for the week because her mummy's gone on holiday and she's just taken off, hasn't she? Yes, she has. So this is little Winnie, and she's a miniature long-haired dachshund. So yeah, so here she is. So you're going to stay there? You're going to sit on my lap? Yeah, okay, let's see. So what have I been up to this week? Well, it's been, with the weather, it's been quite chilly, and then it's been raining, and then we've had a bit of sun. So haven't been able to get out and about very much, apart from taking a trip to Abingdon, which I will tell you about in a moment. First of all, Margo Pinafore. So I decided that I'd have a go. So I have done the Margo Pinafore. Do you want to go down, Winnie? Let's put you down on the floor. So I had some needle cord, this one, and I thought I'm going to use this for the Margo Pinafore. That would be quite nice. So now I have taken some pictures as well, so you can see those. I'm not that happy with how it's turned out. Nothing to do with the pattern, it's all me, operator error. It's too big. I did it in a 16 because I didn't want anything sticking around my tummy, but I think what I need to do is take it in at the top, sort of maybe at the top and then coming back out at the bottom. Now I've never altered a pattern and then cut it out, so I'm not sure how that will work, but I'm going to have a go. I'm presuming I can just do it on the pattern, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the pattern off and use that just to see how that works. I don't want to go and muck my pattern up. So yeah, so I think that's what I'll probably do. Give me 1 minute, I'm going to let Winnie out into the garden. So yeah, so I'm presuming I can just take it in from the top and down, but so I'm going to tell you all about that next time because I will have a go, and I might see whether I can do some alterations to this. I'm not sure, because obviously, as you know, with the Margo Pinafore, it is all lined in the top as well, in the bodice. Also, I have taken a few pictures which I will just pop up. Nice big pockets. I love having the pockets. They're so handy to pop things in. I think also if I make it again, I'm going to make it shorter. I prefer something maybe tunic length if I'm going to be wearing it over jeans, or even over sort of thick woolly tights in the winter as a layering piece. But yeah, I just prefer it to be shorter. So obviously what I would have to do is take the pockets up further, because they're going to be, I think it's not going to look quite right with the pockets down there. So yeah, so watch this space. I will have a go. I hope I don't muck it up, but I've got to learn, so I've got to give it a go. So yeah, so that's the Margo Pinafore. I'm just making sure that I've got everything down on my list. Oh yes, also in the pictures, sorry, you will see that I've got some like a big flower. What I was doing the other day, I thought I just fancied doing something for a change, so I popped onto YouTube, and I've been making these fabric flowers just out of scraps of fabric really. So that was one. I've got a few more here. I haven't put the buttons in the middle of these yet, so I've got a little one there, and I've just added a bit of lace, and I just thought they're quite nice just to be able to attach to clothes with a pin. I just got some from Amazon. They're the ones you can just sew onto the back, so it's a bit like a brooch back, so you can pop it on your clothes and then take it off. And I thought maybe they'd be quite nice to go with coordinating outfits, just to jazz something up that maybe is a little bit too plain if you don't want to have too much jewelry. So yeah, so ever so easy, very, very easy. But if anybody wants to see how I did it, shout in the comments and I will do a little video on them. Okay, so oh, it's all done by hand as well, mainly hand. So just let me know if you do want to see how I make them. So the other thing I did this week, actually it was yesterday. Yeah, it it was yesterday, I went into Abingdon. Now I live in Abingdon, and it's called Abingdon on Thames. And yeah, I decided to pop into Abingdon to the shops because we've got a fabric shop in Abingdon, and it's been there since, so sometime in the 1930s. I'll give you more information in a moment. And it's been there as long as I can remember. I remember going there with my mum when I was small, and I always remember running down the shop with my fingers touching all the rolls of the fabric. And yeah, and I found it incredibly boring, actually, because I was only little and my mum was busy getting the dressmaking fabric, making us something for school or an outfit for a party, whatever. So Mason's has got 3 shops now in Abingdon. So you have the main fabric shop, which sells everything. Then you have next door to that another shop called Mason's, and they sell all the craft materials. So they things like the foam you need for upholstery, craft kits, the embroidery skeins, craft kits, little things like that probably it's nice to take your children or grandchildren, for them to have a look around all the colours and all the different textures and things, and see what they'd like to make. So it is quite a lovely shop to visit. And they have a third shop, and that's in Bath Street in Abingdon, and they sell predominantly upholstery fabrics, but at the back of the shop they have a large range of wool, yarn, knitting, crochet, patterns. They have a lot, and they're so knowledgeable. The staff in the main fabric shop, they are so lovely. They are only too pleased to help you. And what I love is when you've bought, decided what you want, you take your bolt to the table and they cut it for you, and they wrap it up, and they do all the workings out of totaling it all on a piece of paper with a pencil. And that reminds me of my mum when she was shopping. I used to remember them writing it down, and then my mum would pay the money for whatever she's purchased. So they've kept the old traditional part of the shop, and I think that's really nice to see. There's no electronic tills or anything. I also thought that it would be really nice for me to share my visit to the shop with you, so that's what I've done here. So I'm just going to let you watch this, and then I will be back again in a moment. Mason's is a family-run business that has been based in one of the oldest towns in England, Abingdon on Thames, since 1939. There are now 3 shops in Abingdon. One is the dressmaking, fabrics and haberdashery shop, and next door you'll find the second shop, which sells craft items, embroidery yarn, ribbons and cake-making accessories and essentials. Staying in Abingdon, you'll find the third shop, which sells a vast range of knitting and crochet yarn alongside upholstery fabrics. So I thought it would be nice to share a bit of history about the shop. So Mrs. Betty North was managing Mason's of Abingdon in 1939, and it was owned by 2 elderly ladies, and on the death of one of these ladies, the other decided to sell up. Betty North purchased the business, and a few years later, in 1950, she brought her husband, Mr. Edward North, into running of the shop. In 1960, the couple purchased a second shop in the town, and this was also in Bath Street, and at this time, the business was selling knitting wool, haberdashery and general drapery. In 1973, Edward North became too ill to work, and his son John North took over the running of the business alongside his mother Betty North. In 1998, Betty passed away and John North became the sole owner of the business, and John then decided to purchase a third shop, which is currently sited next door to the original shop. In 2006, John North's son Simon North started working in the business, and now as general manager he hopes that the latest arrival to the family, Edward, named after his great-grandfather, will continue the business in the future. When you first walk into the main fabric shop, you're greeted with a huge array of colour. It's most definitely a memorable experience for somebody's first visit. The staff are wonderful and friendly. They offer you a warm welcome and will only be too happy to help you with anything, whether that be your search for a particular fabric or help with something that you're making. So I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. It's been lovely to share the shop visit with you, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what's inside Mason's. It would be really cool, or if you want me to meet up with you, if you wanted to come to Abingdon, that would be lovely as well. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like to do that. But otherwise, I just want to say have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Not sure what the weather's like. Hopefully we're going to get a bit of sunshine, and yeah, so if you could like and subscribe if you haven't already, that would be amazing and so kind. And also, if you've got any comments, I really do love hearing what you think about the video. If it's boring, do I need to do something else? Please let me know, because I don't want you to be bored and I want you to come back again. So, but I'm going to be back soon with another video, because I've got 2 new patterns to share, all beginner, but one of them is, it's got more, but one of them I feel has got a little bit extra, and I saw somebody else do it and I thought, I want to try that. So that's what I've done. So join me next time and take care, and I will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.